We go back again. Hey, what's going on today, guys? I just had to come on here right quick. I typically am outside, but I'm gonna be real. I can't be out there today. It's a little too hot out there, so I am in the comfort of my home today, and I just wanted to share something what the Lord had put on my spirit to share. I was up early this morning and I was praying. I said, God, show me where to go. What do the people need to hear right now? And so I had, what's crazy is sometimes I will open the pages of my Bible and I'll just start reading. And that for that exact thing, whatever I open my Bible to, that exact thing is sometimes what I share sometimes, or, sometimes what I talk about. But anyway, look, so I wanted to talk a little bit today about wise judgment. Okay. And I'm not talking about judging somebody. Okay. I'm talking about wise judgment and making good decisions, because here's the thing. And this isn't even in regards to the wealth transfer, but it is in correlation to the wealth transfer. Like, one thing about it is that we have to know and understand, guys, is that the anointing attracts. So whatever you're doing in the marketplace, whatever you're doing, if you got a platform, if you got a X, Y, and Z, whatever you got, you always have to know that the anointing attracts people. So in knowing that the anointing attracts people, not only are you going to attract good people, but you also could attract some not so good people. Okay. You also can attract and adopt some things that are good, and so some things that are not so good things. Okay. So that's why even now, not even when the wealth transfer gets here, but even now it's really important to understand good and wise judgment. You feel me? So I think that's super important as people of God. We have to know how to make really good decisions if we're a leader in the world full of darkness. So I was actually up early this morning and I was in my Bible and I was reading about King Solomon, and Solomon, how he took his throne and the things that he did, and the things he asked the Lord for, petitioned the Lord for, and just stuff like that. So, everybody knows the story of Solomon. If some of you don't, King Solomon was one of the wisest kings of all of history. Even one thing about Solomon is Solomon asked the Lord for wisdom, knowledge and wisdom beyond all understanding. And the Lord gave that to him. The God said that because you didn't ask for wealth and riches and stuff like that, but the Lord still gave him the desires of his heart. He still gave him that stuff. So, but one thing about it is that Solomon actually had basically the knowledge of, or God-given knowledge. It was God-given knowledge that Solomon had, and in that he utilized that knowledge to make decisions, to build the temple. He utilized, like, he knew how to appoint certain officials in certain places. Guys, this is going to be huge for people who are entrepreneurs, people of the wealth transfer community who are entrepreneurs. It's going to be very, very critical that you understand wise judgment. Solomon appointed officials, officers. He appointed people who recorded things, like all the way down. He didn't do it by himself. He put together an entire team and he did it then. And so one thing about that is that in all of that, the Bible even talks about how Solomon's fame reached all the way to the Euphrates River. It reached far and wide, and people knew who he was. The Bible even says that Solomon's heart was so large. It said that his heart was so large, larger than the sand on the seashore. I mean, if you have a vision about the seashore and where sand's at, I'm going to be real, that's a lot of sand. Solomon had everything you could ever ask for. He literally had everything. He had the cattle, he had the gold, he had the silver, he had the spices. Okay. Now, also he did have the women, but let me be real, man. That was for that time. Okay. That was for that time. That's a totally different time. Okay. in that Old Testament era. And right now, God tells us to have one wife, okay? So, yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. But Solomon literally had everything, okay? He had everything. And one of my absolute favorite stories about Solomon's judgment, okay, was the story about the two harlots. And there were two harlots that both had a baby. Two harlots that had a baby. They both lived under the same roof. They both went to sleep one night, okay? One of them went to sleep, laid on their baby, and the baby died. And the other one didn't, okay? So what happens during the night, what ended up happening during the night was that the one's baby that died, she goes in, sneaks in, and steals this other woman's baby, okay? And then replaces her dead baby with the baby that was alive. So they bickered, they argued. That's my baby. My child's the living child. No, my child's the living child. My child's the living child. No, that's my child. You stole my child. So they go to the king. And it was King Solomon. And even at this time, it was amazing how great of a king that Solomon was, because he actually was accessible to the public. Okay? He was actually accessible to the public. Okay? So what ended up happening was these two women, they go to King Solomon, and they're still bickering. That's my baby. No, that's my child. That's my living child. And because when the woman with the alive child woke up, she did realize that wasn't her child. She realized that. Okay, so they were bickering amongst the king, talking. That's my, and then Solomon says. He says, bring me a sword. And they brought him a sword. And he told his men, he said, cut one in half. He said, cut the child in half. Give one side of the child to one of them, and give the other side of the child to the other one. And so what ended up happening was something that will blow your mind. Okay? What actually ended up happening was the real mother wept. She wept. And she wept, and she wept and yearned with compassion. She was so upset. She was so upset. She said, my Lord, just give her the living child. Just whatever you do, don't kill him. She said, whatever you do, don't kill him. But here reveals the heart of the other woman, though. Okay? Listen to this. Listen to what she said. She said, let him be neither mine nor yours. Divide him. This woman had no compassion. This other woman had no compassion. She did not care. And so in that, Solomon was able to reveal who the real mother was. And the real mother was the one with the compassion. And so what did he say? Solomon says, he said, give the first woman the living child, and by no means kill him. So in that, using wise judgment is literally so critical, for the simple fact of, because you can have other people attached to your decision, especially as a leader. That's why it's going to be really important to test people and their intentions. I mean, because let's just be real. You get a whole bunch of money in the bank, it's just only going to increase. It's just going to get, I don't want to say it's going to get worse, but it's going to increase. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, as the Lord continues to elevate you, the attraction is going to be so much greater. Okay? And, I'd say just pray about every decision that you make, and just ask the Lord for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And just know that these things could be critical to your success or even somebody else's success. The truth is that everybody can't go to Canaan. Everybody can't go. Okay? So just use wise judgment when it comes to decision making and stuff. But I'm gonna be real. That's kind of all I got. About to get ready for Bible study here shortly. And till next time, guys. Pluto will see you on the other side. Bye for now.